Okay, here we go. Back again. Good morning, gang. Same names every day. It's okay, it's okay. What day is it? Saturdays. It must be Friday night for you guys over there, right? Okay, okay. Friday night. Okay, you can see what we're doing. It's just chewing away at these Patreon TV blocks. I think we'll finish this one in a few minutes, and then we'll start the third of the four. It's already Saturday for you. You're 7 hours difference? Where are you? You're in Italy today? Germany. It's 8 o'clock here. It must be midnight there. Midnight or 11 o'clock? Midnight. Oh, the time change. So what, you're 7 hours, 8. Australia, you're already Saturday for sure. California, you're Friday. Okay. Okay, what will today's stream be about? It's going to be, there'll be 3 kinds of work. We're going to finish this one we were doing the other day. Remember, I was cutting meatball shapes. We've cleared away most of the outside junk area. On this one, on the bottom of the 2 prints, we still have the background to clear away. This will take 5 or 10 minutes or so, and then I'll get another tracing, and we'll work on the third of the 4 colors. And then there is a show and tell. It's a classic show and tell, just something I brought from the room upstairs to show. It's a nice little book from the, well, we'll talk about just a quiet, nice show and tell, not something special. And speaking of show and tell, last night was very rare for me. I was busy on Yahoo Auctions, the open Yahoo Auctions last night. I have alerts in their system, and it flags when something specific comes up. And I had been watching for, planning for the next David's Choice video. I've been collecting stuff together, planning for the next David's Choice video. I can tease it, it doesn't matter. We're going to talk about Tokaido prints in the next DC video. And as it turns out, the alert that I have in the Yahoo auction system for Tokaido prints beeped 4, 5, or 6 days ago. And a very, I can link it to you. It doesn't matter, there's nothing secret about it. I think I have the, still in my, I don't know, copy paste somewhere from last night. Yeah, here it is. This is an auction from last night. It's closed now. This was an open auction on Yahoo. Anybody could have bid on it. And it's a set of Tokaido prints. A whole set of 55 prints of the entire Tokaido series. And I got it for, I think it's 3,000 yen. It's going to be fun. Anyway, I can't show it to you today. I just won the auction last night. I paid for it last night. It'll come in a few days. And we'll take a peek at it when it arrives. It possibly might be here the next stream or the next 2 streams. And it will help fill out the content of the next David's Choice video. It's not 52, it's 55. There's 55 prints in this set. What do you mean, you dog? It was an open auction. You could have bid for it. Anybody could have bid for it. There's 53 stations of the Tokaido, but it makes a set of 55 prints because classically you don't count the first one and the last one, whatever. Mr. Sismar, hello, thank you, sir. Long time supporter of the show. Long time supporter. A local art at home stream. Tell me more about that. A local art at home stream. Tell us about that. Anyway, I've got to do some work here, so let me get started on this. I'll try and watch the conversation at the same time. Also, the sound. I think the sound should be perhaps, maybe, possibly a little bit better today. A certain bearded gentleman showed up at an onsen town. Yes, Kinosaki Onsen, the best unit, my final, my cut. That's the one where they fired me. Not fired, that's an exaggeration. That's the one where the producer said, okay, don't call us, we'll call you for the next one. So, that was fun. That was a fun one. And HK just keeps playing it again and again and again. I don't get paid for it anymore. I got paid once for it. They don't do residuals for the talent. Cameramen and production companies get residuals, but the talent does not. It's okay. It was good fun. should be paying me for that, because my God, I've heard so many times people rent it because they've seen that video. Okay, that's the inside, it's just for him. You on? You didn't even check. Seems okay. Yeah, seems okay. There's white noise, there's the fans from the computer, and there's that stupid air conditioner from Rox. It's off right now, you'll hear it come out in a minute. And more Yorkshire talk. No Skytree, it's out there I think, but yeah, it's a hazy day today. Yes, yes. Is that the edge of a white building? I'm not sure what we're seeing. You mean, I know, below the guy on the sign there? It's something on the roof of the corner building, I think. It's the stairway. The corner building has a staircase thing that pops out on the top. I think that's what you're seeing there. The Skytree is usually behind that. There's the air conditioner kicking in all night long, all day long. I'm not sure, I didn't pay much attention. I was trying to flip through the stream. Was there a question there about tools here? Which tool do we use when we're clearing this stuff? I didn't read carefully, I'm sorry. And the chisels here, I've got these ice chisels. I've got a bunch of them, 6 millimeters, 3, 2, 1, 0. And it's just whatever, whichever one fits the shape best. Yeah, when we get to here, the wider the chisel you use, the easier it is to make the surface flat. If you're cutting with a chisel that's too narrow, you're just making grooves. We want this thing flat, so we'll go for a wider one out here. The closer you get, obviously, you have to switch to a shorter one, a wide, narrower one, to get in between the spaces. I actually don't have so many. Since the other card I bought my age, traditional guy. We don't have, I don't know, he's got maybe 8 or 9 or 10 minutes. And Ito-san too, the guy who remembered my card with me. I don't know, I'm not a tool freak on this at all as the regular viewers and regular friends know. I don't collect a lot of tools for this. I keep a rather minimal tool set, absolutely. I don't really take as good care of it as I should. We get by. We get by. Can't catch it all here, sorry. cone on the lower left, that's not the cone we normally see. When the camera used to be inside, when Cameron used to visit, we had the camera shooting out the front door. It showed a cone that sometimes lined up across the street. That's not this cone. There are two cones out front. The line-up cone is the one to my left as I look outside, and we are now seeing the right-hand cone as we look outside. There's two cones. I should bring them indoors. There's no traffic out there these days, nobody parking. And we don't really want to try and block somebody from car parking. I changed two things on the sound setup. Actually, what happened the other day, it's a bit of a long story, and I'll well, I got an email the other day from somebody who bought one of our prints a while back, and he received the print, long journey through America, through Jet's Place, and then he received the print. And actually he was disappointed in something about it. He bought one of our Shin Hunter prints, the Matsushima design. And wrote a polite letter, not angry, yelling and screaming, but he was disappointed in the print that he received. It was a gift for his mother, I think he said, or somebody. And the print had two problems from his point of view. One problem was the print itself, along the area where I do the embossing, on the left-hand side, was rippled somewhat. Rippled. Actually, I was quite surprised when I saw the photograph because it was more rippled than it would have been left here. But anyway, it had picked up moisture somewhere along the line and had rippled a bit in the left-hand margin. And then at the top of the print also, the raw paper edge was visible. You know, where the paper makers make the paper, there's a rough edge around the outside of it. And sometimes we leave that on our prints. In the Shin Hanga genre, we always leave it whenever it's there. But he, perhaps it's his first time printing a workbook print, I guess, I don't remember what he said. And he thought this was a mistake, and it looked tatty, and why did we leave it there? So I answered as best I could, but I was also surprised about the amount of rippling, because the rippling on the paper was right exactly where I did the embossing. And as it turns out, I do that embossing usually on the screen here, so out of curiosity, I went back to my files here, and I found the stream, January the 9th of 2019, where I had done the embossing on that batch of prints. So I was surprised his photograph showed a strong ripple. I thought, I can't have that much ripple. I wouldn't have been able to do the embossing. Let's have a look. So as part of checking into this print, I played back that stream. It's on the Acolytes page. So I teed up the stream yesterday while I was doing some other work on my computer, and I left the stream running, the archive Twitch stream, for an hour and a half, while I watched out of the corner of my eye to see if his sheet of paper, a super rippled sheet of paper, came up. Now it didn't. The paper was really quite flat while I was doing the embossing, and yet clearly over time, after being packaging and shipping around the world, it picked up a bit of moisture and it's got a ripple. But anyway, as I listened to the stream, I realized, my God, the audio is so bad. The audio is so bad. There was two problems. I guess you wondered if you guys know all about this. One was that it clipped. Every time I started to speak a bit more excited or something like this, the audio really, really clipped, even though we have a compressor, supposedly, working on this thing. And the other problem with the audio is that every time I put something down, or this, or that, it cracked the audio, because the microphone has been sitting on the table right here. Whatever. So today I tried a few things. I checked the compressor again. It is set. There's numbers in it. It's supposed to be stopping the clipping. I've moved it off the table. It's now on the little stool where Cameron used to sit when he used to come here. So it shouldn't be affected by the banging. And I dropped the volume a little bit. So I hope the background noise, as I said, that air conditioning, you just heard it right now, the air conditioning went down and the fans are running. Other than that, it's silent here. There's no audio coming from the computer. We're not playing back this video. It's not looping around. from January 9th, 2019 was and on the archive. The audio jack, it's a new cable. We did have problems with this, so I dumped the old cable and I got a new cable. But this is all that tiny 3.5 stuff. We're not talking XLR connectors here. It's the line out from the Zoom coming into my Major video box, which USBs into the computer. There was no January 9th. I just played it last night. January 8th, January 9th. We're maybe talking time zone difference here, because the day I record them and the day they go up there might be different. I mean, today, it's May 23rd, right? No, you think it's May 22nd. Anyway, whatever, it's around that time. So we're not talking this year, we're talking last year. This is last year. You have to go back and back and back and back and back and back in time. So anyway, about the customer, I don't know. I wrote back and without trying to be too, I didn't try to blow him away. I mean, the two things he was talking about are sort of standard for that kind of a Shinhanma print. We do leave the paper border without cutting it, that's normal. So I was able to show him a few links to other places on the internet that have similar things to show that that's not just me trying to blow him off. And then the rippling, I don't know, rippling also is normal, but his print is quite heavily rippled. And if I had the print here, I would like to spray it with moisture, flatten it, and get it back down. But I don't have it here, so I think his problem, he wanted to give it as a gift, and he thought it looked substandard. So we'll see how it goes. I offered, of course, the replacement and or money back, whichever. We don't hesitate. We don't want somebody out there who's not happy with their stuff. So I offered that. But I guess he's got a birthday coming up, so he's got to figure out what to do. Now, really, what you do not like is to talk to customers and say, look, it's okay, this is a handmade product, you have to expect this kind of stuff, you know, irregularities and whatever. I really do not want to do that. That's the refuge of the incompetent, as far as I'm concerned. But to a certain extent, it is true. That Shinhanma genre does look exactly like that. The natural edge of the paper is part of the genre, and the flexible and the handmade mood in the paper also is part of it. So it's sort of true that that little funkiness is part of what the thing is. But so often those things are used as I said, the refuge of the incompetence. I really don't want to go that route. I'm talking to someone like this. This is one of those super hard. We got knots here. These are just like rocks. Really easy way to break your knife. It's just like carving concrete in that specific right here. Just shift. How much does the non-printing surface matter? It depends how many prints you're going to print for the wall. We talked about this before. Why am I doing this? Why am I taking the trouble? Because modern printmakers just leave their gouge marks in the bottom. For us, we don't need it to be, perfectly mathematically clean, but we need to get the rough gouge marks out of it, because they pick up pigment. Later on, when you're rubbing with your brush, when you're rubbing around and around and around and around and around, the brush, of course, leaves pigment on the printing surface, but it also gets pigment underneath. And if we have gouge marks here, it picks up pigment. The pigment picks up on those ridges, and they climb up and up and up and up and up. And the subsurface, the sea bottom stuff starts to climb and climb and climb. And then you get bit by bit more and more touches of that pigment onto the bottom. We don't want to go super deep. That would obviate that problem. If we go super deep, then the brush bangs on the edges and makes it difficult to print smooth color. So we want, theoretically, as shallow as possible to make the brushing go smoothly. But the shallower we get, the more dangerous it gets for touching the paper. So for the professional, traditional stuff, it's the carver's job to find a good balance between those things. Not going too deep, not leaving it too shallow, and getting rid of most of those ridges so that the printer can run ahead smoothly. But we saw at the end of yesterday's stream, the stream the other day, where we had those old Takamizawa blocks, where the carver hadn't found the right balance on that. And the printer had to, while he was printing, had to grab his own gouge and scoop out a bunch of extra places that were too shallow. And it wasn't because the carver was incompetent, it was because almost certainly it was a different grade of paper being used for those subsequent printings. Almost certainly when the block set was carved, it was a new edition, something that was expensive. They were using a nice high quality paper, or it was just the era that was happening. And later when the subsequent printings came, clearly they were using a substandard kind of paper, and it sagged a bit more, and the printer was frustrated because the blocks were too shallow. And we saw dozens, and we saw gouge marks all over those blocks. I can't show you now because I've sent it off to Kawaii-san. So again, always long story, too much long story. There's a balance there, but it depends on who you are, the kind of work you're doing, what kind of paper you're using, what kind of bearing pressure you're using, how many copies you're going to make. The more copies you're going to make, the more this has to be kept smooth. There's no single rule for all of this. As a beginner, just fooling around with this, do not waste hour after hour after hour getting this flat. You're probably not going to make 1,000 copies from it. You'll find out if it's not deep enough. You'll get marks in your print. Grab your chisel, clean it up. Really bad grain part. This is, again, knots, no wood. That's why we moved this thing over to avoid these knots. Big danger here now is breaking this blade, so be careful, Dave. Keep track of this. we'll be displaying some of our favorites from Dave's Print Shop. This is John again, another John. Mr. J. Sismar. Is this something that's going to be open that other people on the net can see, or is this some private group or whatever? If this is something open that we can peek at, let us know, please, or let me know, or whatever. You have a wood block in almost every room. So do I. What's up with the audio? Is it taking audio from the wrong mic? We moved the mic so it sounds different. Oh, this is interesting about the Hokusai's Lost Manga, the Fujin Daijin, the Forces of Nature Trio. News to me, news to me, news to me. I'm going to look at this. If we do manage to get into that book, then absolutely we're going to consider that. We're thinking about actually a series for next year, a subscription series. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. John Amos, they're worse than David's. Which is worse, David's or John's? You tell me, whatever, it's 50-50? John's and David's. Biblical power. The thing about the names, you know, there was a little episode here years ago. It's so funny. There was a guy here visiting one day from me. Actually, he was from Saudi Arabia. He'd been a fan for a long time on the net or something. And he'd had trouble getting out of the country. He was traveling, I think. They're difficult sometimes out of that country. And anyway, he was here, and he'd been a really, really long fan, and he was here with a translator and whatever. It turned out that actually he ended up going for dinner together. We ended up, him and his translator and a couple of other people in his group, we went for dinner together, and we were at a local restaurant. We had to find a halal place. And it's okay, we were chatting about this and chatting about that, and it turns out he has an extremely common name in his culture. You sort of know what it is. It begins with an M, and I asked him, how can you tell everybody apart when you all have the same name in your culture? And he looked at me, he thought, that's pretty funny coming from a David. I guess he knew some of the foreigners who were Davids, and my comment that everybody in his culture having the same name didn't fly too well. Actually, it wasn't easy, having dinner together from somebody from his country, Islamic background, because we didn't drink. Obviously, there's no sake on the table. But what I hadn't realized or hadn't thought about was that a huge amount of the Japanese food he couldn't eat, or wouldn't eat, because as part of the preparation for the dashi here in Japan, of course it's not vegetarian, there's fish stuff in it, but there's also sake. And part of the mix of making the dashi, which is the base of a huge amount of the food here, there's sake in it, and that's enough to break their non-alcohol rule. So they quizzed the chef, the cook guy in the back, they quizzed him and brought him out and double-checked, and the translator went through everything, and are you sure? And the guy said, well, yeah, and whatever. I think we are clear. I think we're done. I think this block is over and out. Let's zoom out a little bit. Confirm. So where are we at with this right now? Mr. Amos is here. We can give him a report. It's going really slowly, John, because that's just this little bit of a time. Here we go. So here's the key block. in a couple of places it bounces out of the borderline. John does this to add a bit of interest here. So 2 places we were bouncing out. That's the key block for the 2 prints. And we now have one of the color blocks totally finished. This is a block for like a skin tone, no, what was it, skin tone? I forget. It's a base tone, one of the base tones. No, this is the base tone block here. With skin tone and stuff on it and light brown. It's not cleared out yet. We're not going to do this today because it's too much hammering noise. And then this is a highlight block that will go over top of this block. Okay, we'll put this aside now. Let's get busy on the 3rd of the 4. I have another blank. I'm going to get hassled by you guys for this too, because when I printed this 2 weeks ago, I told you it has to be done the same day. Print it and draw it and paste it down the same day. And now we're like 2 weeks later. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to have to get rid of the outside view for a minute, and we're going to pop up John's color breakdowns here. Oops, wrong button. That's the key lines, somewhere here. Here we are. Okay, these are what John sent. It's sort of the Photoshop files. And now they're in 2 groups. This is one of the blue-gray group. This is one of the brown-yellow group. That's done. That's the one we just showed you. That's done. And this is the other blue-gray, and that's the other brown, skin color. And we're going to do today. We're going to do this one. And John's done it as kind of a lilac. I don't know exactly what we'll be using. He's just left, red. This is the purple group with 2. This will be the darker one, clearly. If you look at the stone at the right-hand side, it looks like another one of those meatballs, and it's darker with a lighter thing on top. And then there's highlights, dark lights, all around the different ceramics. So this is the one we'll do today. Oh, again, John, what have you done? Look at this. Look at the bowl. There's the bowl shape on the big bowl. Bottom right, there's a white highlight here. But on the darker block, you've got 2 dark lights coming in. This is difficult, difficult. This one too, look at this. Look at this. There's the brown, we're talking about the bowl, the big brown bowl, the brown color coming up from the bottom. Look, here they are. These have to hit exactly at the same place, exactly at the same place. I want them to overlap. I don't want them to butt exactly side by side. It will never, 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 never get them lined up. Do I have a picture of all the colors together? No, I don't. John's just give them to me in layers here. What's this? Flavio Mark, a new person. Wait. Flavio underline Mark. Is this Marco? Mr. Marco, who was here with me in Ome 15 years ago? Marco Flavio Marinucci. Is this you? Back printmaking after all these years? Silence. Maybe that's the one. Yeah, having the Photoshop altogether doesn't make any difference because John has done it with Photoshop with 100% opaque things. So if we get this brown and this purple, he's got them lined up in Photoshop, of course. No, sir, sorry. Okay, whatever. I thought you were somebody else. A friend of mine from 15, 20 years ago has a very similar name to yours. He's Italian-American, Marco Flavio. Okay. So what am I going to do here? This one is already carved. we've got it here. And now I have to figure out how to make that line up with this one. And what really, the only way to do that is to print this and stick it on top of this one. And then when I can see that, in other words, take this thing right here. Actually, what I can do, let's do this. You can just do it dry. There's the shape we want to catch. Here's the place I want to trace this new one on right now. And I'll read a bar. Excuse me while I go and grab a bar. Here, look, if I just rub this on this thing here, even with no pigment, this gives me the line. And I can now draw with my little pen here. That'll do it. That'll do it. That'll do it. What else do I need to worry about before I actually start doing this? Everything else can be freehand, I think. Yeah, that's the only place where it has to match up. Everything else can be freehand. Okay, let's do that. A lot of conversation, I'm sorry I can't catch it all. Someone's the doctor. Another one here, over on this tray here. There's a place at this part of the tray. This block here is supposed to have a shadow tone here, but the previous block we did also has a tiny, not that one, this one. There's a shadow tone in the corner, and I've got to make sure they don't. So let's overlap them first and we'll cut it back later. Okay. And then underneath this thing, this has got to be wiggled. There's nothing smooth about this. And then highlights, rim light on the fish. Right through the eye, no, it hits the eye and goes around. And nothing on the chopsticks. A couple of touches up in the bowl. Right, that's that one. Now the other one. Do I need to draw? Yes. Now this is another one. We're going to draw some stuff here. Again, what we're going to do, we're going to change this. This is the lighter of the two bluish colors. And if you look at this stone down here, it's the same thing. Jonas called for a darker bottom and a lighter top. And there's no way I can get that a wiggly line here carved positive and carved negative. There's no way, just no way. So what we're going to do, we'll take the lighter of the two colors and we'll put it in the whole thing. And then cut it out, the same as we did with the meatball, we'll cut it out of the darker one. Because there's no way we can carve A positive and B negative and get them to match up. It just isn't possible. And then some highlights on the scissors. Is that conflicting with anything we've had before? Bare, oh, same thing. Look at the scissors. He's got dark lights on the handle, so it must be a kind of a plastic handle or something. Bare, and do these match? Yes, it's cut out again. So what we'll do here, I'm going to take on the lighter of the two, I will just do the whole handle of the scissors. Cut it from here to here. We'll do the whole thing. And then the areas that are supposed to be lighter, we will cut those out of the darker block, which is coming next. That's the fourth of the four blocks. And we're looking at the background. Stone, background, scissors handle. That's all that's on this block at the top. On the other one we have the background here. Shadow here, shadow, shadow, the scissors don't match at the middle. I'm thinking, you know, like scissors would be metal, but they might have sort of a plastic dipped handle or something. I think what maybe that John's looking at it here. The blade is going to be bare. Around the blade, the table will have one of the other colors. So the blades will be bare paper color. The handle will now be it'll be this tone. It'll be whatever it's going to be. It's going to be the same as the background here. Will be the whole handles of the scissors up to those lines. And then on the darker of the two blocks, there will be a dark placed on the scissors with light spots cut out of it, where you see in John's master here. The same as down in the stone. It'll have a light spot cut on the top. In the bowl, we could do the same thing. I'm not sure what we're talking about here in the bowl. We can do the same thing. So it's going to be like 3 levels here. If you think about this stone here, look at it. On John's thing, he's got just the top marked, but I'm going to do the whole thing, and the top will be all that's left, because later on this next block, on this one, we will cut out the top, so the top will show through from this block, so it'll look like exactly what John's asked for. The top of this stone will be the lighter lilac color, and the bottom of the stone will be the darker lilac color, and it will have 2 things. It'll have the lighter lilac and the darker lilac. Then over on the the bowl up here, go back to the other one. This will be the lighter lilac, and it's cut out here. I could run it under there, or I could leave it cut out, and then the darker one comes on top of that. I'd better run it under, otherwise we'll get a light space again. I'd better run this under on this one. This is the lighter one. So I'd better run it underneath everything on that bowl except the part that we want to be light, which must be just this little bit right at the bottom here. Where's that mark? I just put it, re-emboss that again. I'll leave that same thing. Okay. More near where they match according to the pictures they are not aligned. I'm not sure, Tom, what you're talking about. I think a bit is missing on the scissors blade, not talking about the handle. Ah, yeah. Look at that. There is. There's a dark light. Okay. Gotcha. Let's do that. Thank you. And the screw, whatever it is. Okay, thank you. Open your octopus. Thank you. Thank you. Hairline was even more fantastic. Choco eggs. What's this? I don't know. Chocolate eggs for everybody. I don't know what we're doing. I'm not keeping track of the names here. I'm sorry. Excuse me. There's a black space. Somebody's asking about that. I don't know. I think we have it to show. This is here. The shadow is here. The shadow is here. Two dark lights. We've got the fish, which has rim light now left behind. Nothing on the chopsticks. The bowl, I believe, is empty. That will be darker later on. This will be lighter later on. This will be skin color later on. A couple of 1, 2, 3s up here. On the other picture, the background is now included. It's got the bamboo cut out of it. This is background. We've got the entire black stone is done. And we have a base tone for the scissors handle, which will be changed by another block coming on top of it later. I think we are good to go. This is all John's given me. This is fine. Let's do this. That's good. We're good to go. Speak now or forever hold your peace. This one too, it's doubled up both, and we could do this. It's dangerous here, because it's on both. Yeah, right here, it's on both. Yeah, that's okay. Fair enough. Okay, let's go. And we'll use this block. This is not a great block. It's okay. It's going to do the job here because it's a color that will match this. But I don't know if you can see. There's a special wood grain here. This is interesting. I'm not talking about the wood grain, the stripes that make up the wood grain. I'm talking about a pattern different from the stripes. And you see it here. There's this, the grain stripes go horizontally here, and there is a vertical sort of. Well, just the word pattern is about all I can use to describe it. It's something to do with the way the cells of the wood are structured in this particular piece of wood. It's a vertical waviness that crosses the grain. And I don't know anything about the structure of the tree that caused this. This is what we call nashi moyo. Nashi is a kind of a fruit. It's that fruit that's a mix between a pear and an apple. Moyo means pattern. So I don't know why somebody years and years ago decided to call this nashi moyo. It's quite pronounced down here. And this can be tough. It's going to carve okay with no problem. But if there's too much nashi moyo, then when the block is new, that pattern can be that can appear in the color on the print. I think we're okay with this Patreon Chibi. This is going to be an undertone, and it's going to be objects that if there was a bit of a rough pattern, this bowl, if it had a bit of texture in it, it wouldn't hurt it. If it was someplace where you'd be killed by texture, it might be a sky that would look funny with texture in it, and you don't use one of these blocks. But we're okay, I think, for this one. I would rather not use this. It just comes up so much we can't just toss them all away. You can see it here. You can see it vividly in this area. But other than that, it is clean and clear. Look at Corin's print. Is there an area under the udon noodle near the meatball? I got this one, which is there, and I got this one, which is there. And I put something there which I think is a little dot. If you're thinking about this one, no. I don't see any purple there. I just see the actual line work. Inside the soup, I see just 3 places. 1, 2, 3. Can we largen it up here? You mean above the meatball? Another dot? I mean, what? I mean, like here? another dot in. You're thinking about this place here. I'll throw it in. It's a dot. On the other meatball. Yeah. Okay, all right. Mr. Amos, I better be happy about this. It's okay. It's funny, because if John was sitting here, John Amos was sitting here, he would just, I just pass this to him, and he would just go, just draw it in. That's the way it's supposed to be done. Our problem is communicating information back and forth across 5,000 miles. It would be so simple to have the designer just doing this. I do the line work, he gives me the lines first, I carve them, back to you, and the designer just draws these things in. It would be so, it's the normal way to do things. Okay, I'm clear to go, am I? What's our time? 9:03. We sort of made a big deal about this color separation, and again, it's really a question of transmitting information. It seems like more of a complicated process than it actually is. It should just be draw what you want, draw what you want, draw what you want. There it is. But it's because of the distance between us that Dave can upload the pick and everybody check and mark spots. Set it up, go for it, go for it. I don't have the time to muck around with stuff like that, but yes. Check, one corner, there's no bad spots here we have to worry about. You saw me the other day, I was checking, there was a knot or a bad spot of the paper in the block. We had to make sure we didn't hit it. This one, we're just going to drop it and paste it. Princess Highfield Appeal coming on. Is there a theme song to this? Ooh. Keep quiet and peanut gallery, please. Do I dare look at this conversation? It's too much glue. It's the same Gumpy. It's nothing different from the Gumpy from the other one. Remember, I did all 4 of these sheets together, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the same Gumpy. What you see there's tad too much glue. And when it started to peel off at the very end here, too much started to come up. I had to take it really easy because with too much glue, if I had pressed too hard and gone bang bang, it would have peeled this right off the whole block. That was a tad too much glue, resulting in a fragmented peel, but we end up in exactly the same place. Looks good, looks good, looks good. Train wreck, that wasn't a train wreck. How's our time? 9:11. We can carve a bit more. Too much. Oh, actually, I can't carve. My knife is what's wrong? We could have sharpened first. Okay, what is it? 9:11. Sharpen and then Chantel. Okay, this block. Please wait until Thursday morning or whatever. No, today's Saturday. Monday morning. Quick sharpen. Which we use, our little toy sharpening blade. Should we use this still again? Why not? The thing that we mentioned this before, if I just start using this little one all the time, I will, is lose your touch, is that the right word? I will lose my touch, of course. I will forget how to use the larger one. So this is cool, but it's a crutch. Okay, get the angle right, Dave. All set, on camera, let's do this. shape ready. That's not how the guy in the video did it. No, it's not indeed how the guy in the video did it at all. Ito-san, sure? The downside of having the thing down here is I can't do the back sides. You saw what I did there when I shaved the back side. That's a downside for me from having this thing so flat and thin. If I was at the edge of a table here, I guess, I could put it onto the table for doing the sharpening, move it to the edge of the table for doing the back side, something like that, I guess. There we are, all shaped beautifully. And I don't have a fine one, so of course we move to our standard stone for the last step. Same angle now, but more difficult to hold the angle because my arm is free floating rather than running along the table. There's also something about that Ito-san video, when I saw those old dubs a few weeks ago. We saw some bits and pieces of Ito-san sharpening. And I put clips into that video 2 weeks ago. He has his stone sideways. He did the thing rocking his body. So he sharpened the bevel side of his knife on a rough stone. And he didn't have a broken knife, so he didn't go through 3 stages. He just went through 2 stages. He started at the medium stone, did the bevel, and we talked about doing different angles, lower, higher, whatever. Then when the bevel was dressed on the stone, he turned around to his desk and he used his fine stone. And for his fine stone, he did just the back side of the blade. He didn't touch the bevel with his finest stone. Now, if he was alive now, I would love to ask him about that. Because if what I saw that day is his normal way of doing it, he will do the bevel on a rough and a medium, and then the back side on a fine, and then move to carving. And that's not the way I do it, or I would think anybody does it. I think that bevel also needs to be dressed on the fine stone. But he had his fine stone placed on his bench vertically. So does he, as another step that he just left out of his explanation that day, does he also use the fine stone on the bevel over on his normal side to side? It'll be an unanswered question. Whatever. For me, it's an essential step. We need also to dress the bevel on the fine stone to get rid of the last scratches. This is a very nice sharpen. Came up very nice. You can see on the back that, we can catch the light again, that last little bevel taken off the back. Somewhere here we find the light reflection. I get the light just right to catch that back bevel on the back. Can't find it. We found it the other day, remember? It's almost there. Do you see it right at the tip? There's a bevel along the back of the knife. There it is, right there. Just at the tip. Okay, It's not 9:18. It is show and tell time. We have a little nice one. It's just an item I grabbed, not at random. Well, yeah, I grabbed it random from the collection upstairs. It'll take about 10 minutes to have a look at this here. It's possible that many years ago we did pull this down from upstairs and have a look at it on the chat before, or maybe we didn't. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Pop that off. Let's put that away for a few minutes. It's a book, and it goes back to, I should have done some homework, it goes back to 17, that's for sure, 1780s, 1770s. I'll put my bets on the 1770s. The one I have here is Taisho. It's a reproduction from the Taisho era. This is Taisho, do your homework, Dave. Where's the date? This is Taisho 5, 1919 maybe? 1916, okay, 1916, Taisho 5. And the original book would have been published in the 1770s. The book was called Shokunin Burui. Shokunin Burui. The cover slip has been long ripped off on this one. And, oh, here it is. This is the silk cover script. It's I can't pronounce the first one. Something Shokunin Burui. This is the upper volume and the lower volume. We have 2 volumes. Shokunin is craftsman, and Burui means shurui, variation, varieties, different shokunin. And it was a book published by illustrated by Tachibana Minko. If you Google this, it comes up all over the place. It was a very popular book back there. Tachibana Minko, and a book of different craftsmen's views from the daily life of different craftsmen. This is the Taisho era reproduction, and what it has is a bunch of double-page spreads along with commentary. It's 1770s, I think, was the original. I thought somebody would have it already. If you Google Tachibana Minko Shokunin, bingo, it'll come up. There'll be, the British Museum or whatever will have copies of this. And this is all kinds of different craftsmen, and some of them are just like, what is this guy making? This guy is making, it's a kamuri. He's making the traditional hat that the emperor or whatever courtiers would have used. And most of the pictures have the craftsmen and some of the ancillary people around him who are working. And they're done in this standard Taisho era, very thick jet black with a bit of a strange coloring version. This must be a mirror polisher. And it's beautifully sharply carved. Absolutely beautiful. Somebody's got it there, ukiyo-e or somebody, John Becker. He stands by waiting for this. Is there a date, John? I'm guessing 1770s, 1780s. Can somebody find a date on this? Shrine Carpenter. Swordmaker, of course. Let's zoom in on some of this, get a view of what's going on. So this version, the reproduction I'm holding here, it's a woodblock reproduction. This is 1916 in Tokyo. The original book that they copied was Edo, Tokyo, and it would have been 1770 or something like that. Armor, he's sewing some kind of armor. I would imagine that for people who are interested in the old techniques and technologies and stuff, this book is actually useful as far as showing what's going on, how something was made. She's it's kumihimo. I don't know, she's is it called weaving when you do it vertically like this? She's weaving this kind of a string. It would be for a kimono, drapes, or maybe this is also part of the armor. I don't know. Weaving around and around and around. This is what? This is rope making? I better get the whole thing on here. I'm not quite sure. Maybe it's cord or string or perhaps rope making of some kind or preparation for weaving. I don't know. The Japanese says motoyuhi, and that's a word I don't know. I'm sorry. Did we have some nice scissors back there? Where did we go? Yeah, so of course, classical Japanese scissors dish. It's a single piece of metal bent over, it springs, springs open and springs open. Making udon noodles, I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think so. I don't think so. It's making some kind of cord or string or preparation for making rope. I don't know, they're tied on to the end here. There's some kind of spinning device they've got. And he's pulling with all his strength on it. This is not udon noodles. This looks like weaving of some sort. Of course, this is a loom. Look at this, a double level loom. A guy up top doing something. Wow. Here we are. You can see he's making fabric. You can see the fabric. Let's zoom. This is weaving. He's got his shuttlecock. If my mother's here, she knows what this is all about. She did this for hour after hour after hour after hour when she was younger. My mother knows exactly what's going on here. So the guy down there, but then up on top, at the back of his loom, look at all these different levels. What's this? This is some high-tech machine. And there's a kid up there feeding in stuff. Of course, I'm not a specialist. I know nothing about this whatsoever. But this is a beautiful, beautiful object, all hand carved and printed. Here we are. This looks a bit familiar to somebody who's been into our work for a long time. I myself used this as a master for reproduction. This lady is making paper, of course. Someone's asking, did you see my question I mailed in yesterday? I don't know, I'm sorry. He's drying the paper, he's putting paper on the boards. I'm not sure, I'm sorry. I'm sort of up to date with my mailbox and I'm sort of not up to date with my other mailbox. I don't know, I'm sorry. I have no idea what these guys are making. Something small in metal. And the title of this page says Horimono, which is just carving. It could be, yeah, something like a sword scabbard or whatever. This is like what my friend Ford Hallam does, yeah. He's tapping away, engraving something, some kind of small metal. Sword fittings or something else. Yeah, that's Ford Hallam. Yeah, Tsuba or something, yes. This is, it's either the first step in making a tatami or just a screen, no idea. They are, of course, weaving. Well, this could be something like the screen used for making paper. That's made this way, with bamboo woven together, It's really well done. Beautifully colored, very nice, very sensitive, a real pleasure. What are these ladies doing? Waiting for somebody. Hang on a sec. What's going on? This is... Okay, you tell me. This is the... These are the customers, are they? Waiting. And somebody is delivering... What is he delivering? A lute? I don't know. This one has got me. The title says Utsubo. 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 What's an Utsubo? The script itself, I can't read much of this at all. This is very old-fashioned. It's highly calligraphic, very old-fashioned. I can pick out a character here and there. There's no way I can read this, I'm sorry. And even in modern Japanese, if you give this to any modern Japanese, there's no way. They're just going to go, let's go talk to my calligraphy teacher. I don't know. No idea. Mutsubo. So I should have done a bit of research before I showed this. Of course, sounds obvious. I don't know what this guy's doing. Baskets. And it's your tea, Honourable Master. Interesting. A quiver, is that what we're saying? Utsubo. Does it look like a quiver? It looks heavy. This looks like it's a bit made of stone or something. And is that the wrapping of the object, or is that part of the object itself? I'm sorry, just I have no idea. No idea. And this looks like, what are we making here? Is this a drum? No, maybe not. The title says Mari. Mari, they have Temari, it's the game. They use those balls where they do various sewing into a ball. I don't know, he's got a box that's got some kind of sand in the base and he's sewing this thing up together. Again, I'm sorry, I don't know. Glass blowing. Look at this, back even in Edo, glass blowing. He's got a kiln, somebody at the back is pumping air into it, and he is blowing glass, and there's a bunch of the finished product over on in here. Glass blowing. And this is 1770. 1770 Edo. There we go. Very nice, very nice. 2 volumes of it. This is, as I said, it's the Taisho era reproduction of the original Edo era book. Nothing special, just a nice little quiet item from our collection upstairs. I don't remember what it would have cost me years ago. I don't know, a few $100 perhaps, I don't know. We're carefully preserving these, and at some point, somewhere we'll get them scanned, we'll get them commented on, we'll get them researched, we'll get things up online. The last question here. The book you showed a few streams ago were the old prints that were not made into wood blocks. You're talking about the Hokusai manga. I am thinking about writing to the Boston Museum of Fine Arts, to the curator. I'm not sure if I should. If I write to them, almost certainly the answer will come back. Don't touch this, don't touch this, don't touch this, because it's our copyright. If I don't write to them, if I can find another source for those images, not from their copyrighted book, if they've been somehow scanned and reproduced and they're out there on the net somewhere. So before I write to them, I'm going to do some Google reverse image searching. If I can find them somewhere else, we will consider using them. Almost certainly they will not give me permission to do so. Or if they did, it would be really highly conditional, with very expensive conditions and with their name all over it. So I don't know. Okay. Still no news on the person who sent in the press? No, I have no idea. Somebody sent that beautiful little 3D printed press last week. A lady, I believe, whose name begins with H. I have no idea. I don't know what to do. We're looking at it. We're not using it yet. It's a curio for us at the moment. Very interesting item. At some point we would like to play with it and try making a print with it, but I have no idea. I have no way to contact that person. I'm sorry. Okay, I've got to get to work. Sizing. I'm heading upstairs, doing paper sizing for the 7th print. No, 8th print. No, 7th print in this year's subscription series. Okay, I'm out of here. Today's Saturday. I'll be back Monday morning, same time, same station, Sunday for you guys, I guess. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. And thanks again for all the support from everybody. It's been real good fun. See you then. Thanks. Good night, John, and John, and John, and John, and everybody else. Bye for now, guys.